your laptops or your screens. These hats are fucking big.
Nice little
W-
swag for you.
yeah, exactly. Welcome to episode 39 of What the Fellas Think. You know, the podcast for the bros, for everybody in general, where we aspire to entertain, educate, and inspire. Fellas, how's it going?
It's going good. No complaints. No, definitely been a busy week, so I'm looking forward to the weekend. So
Same here, brothers, man. Everything's wonderful, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. I feel left out. And Elroy, your hat looks fake. Cut, cut.
It's
Okay.
CGI.
Yeah. Okay. It's real. Okay. Yeah. I see the. I see the stuff.
It's
Okay.
real.
Okay. It's good. Yeah. I got you.
Hey,
don't
so
worry.
I,
Don't.
I wanted to share an experience I had this week. Um, they did a digital remastering of Purple Rain, and it was for one night only. You know, Purple Rain, the movie with Prince. So I went to see it Wednesday night, and I actually had a good time. It kind of nostalgic because I was 10 years old when it first came out. I went to the movies. I shouldn't have saw it at the movies, but when I was 10 years old, 'cause that was way beyond too much content for a youngster like myself. But I saw it again this weekend, and I was jamming the Prince soundtrack, throughout the week 'cause in anticipation of that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Oh, and I want to tell you about this real nice restaurant in the city that I went to last night. Oh, you want to hear about it now? Okay, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Go
the
ahead.
spot is called the Green Dragon. It's a black owned. I don't want to say a black owned Mexican restaurant, but it's a black owned restaurant that serves tacos. And when I say top of the line, exquisite tacos, it was just great. Now I had the codfish taco, and I had the moo, which is basically pot roast. And the pot roast, man, it was just so succulent, so juicy, just great all around. Great restaurant. Not that much seating, so if you do go, you might want to plan to get reservations or something, but definitely worth checking out. It's on Taylor Street. It's called the Green Dragon.
So if I look it up on Google, is it a $2 sign or a four?
Uh, it'll be two, probably two.
Okay. All right.
Hey, he said that like he was describing a woman, boy. It got to be good.
Oh yeah, and so after that, just it was just like a vibe, from not being in the city to being in the heart of the city. Parked out, found parking, lucky enough, and after that, I went to a bar like 2 blocks up the street, hung out, had a couple of beers there. It was a good experience. I had a good time.
All
But yeah,
right, well,
how's your week been, Brandon?
hey, just all work for me. Unfortunately, all work and no play. Yeah, it's a crazy time. A lot of dealing with stuff at work, but that's pretty much it for me. I know, Jeremy, you had a eventful weekend or week,
No,
rather.
bro. Same for me. It's basically all work, fasting, prayers, and sleep. That's it, bro. So, so I'm weak right now. My body tired, but we get through it.
All
well,
righty. So
I wanted
Brandon, how you want to start this out?
I wanted to discuss gun violence. In Chicago, something that's very happens kind of often in Chicago. But I'm really focused on today's youth, and I got two videos that I'm gonna play that shows some serious problems I think with the youth. Now, my just a little bit of personal information. This week there's been was a shooting at my kid's school where a young girl was shot in the leg. Made the news, so you can go look it up. Perspective of cat. That's just stuff I think. Some things I even with old school gangsters, some stuff should be off limits. School grounds off limits, kids off limits, but it don't seem to be that way anymore. And I'm gonna go ahead and share these videos, and we'll get into the discussing this and everything. And I want to get y'all opinion on all of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and share these videos. Let me go ahead and do this. First one here kind of describes it'll describe everything perfectly, actually. Okay, well, I don't know why I did that, but all right.
Well,
There we go.
still some
All
good news.
right.
94th, all the way to Everson, and that's why we finna walk out. 91st all the way to 95th.
Phone them great.
I'm with my takers, man. You know I got. That's okay.
Free all the racks. Free all the racks.
Free the rack.
Keep the racks.
Keep the rack. So hold now, you already know it.
Real $1.50 stretcher. Hey, they out here hating on us. They calling us in talking about armed individuals.
I told y'all.
They calling on y'all and saying all y'all got guns. None of y'all got guns.
Hell, what? You know we don't play with no guns. How many times I ran from him? How many times I ran from him? He did catch me. He can't catch me. He know he can't catch me.
He's bad too, bro. He's bad.
And I got my fake logo, my dead cousin still outside, folks. Free racks.
Now, I wanted to stop the video right here on this individual because I want y'all to understand that this individual here, you see him throwing up gang signs and everything. And let me stop sharing for a second. And now I'm gonna share the video of the aftermath and why they say the streets lie to you, because that individual goes through something. And I'm gonna share that video right now so y'all can see that as well. Let me go through that. Now, let me stop sharing for a second. Y'all see them two videos. The first one, they're toting guns, brandishing guns, basically talking about the gang life. And that's our youth today, which is crazy to me. The kids out here, first of all, that one kid had a drum on there, and that's that's a lot of rounds in there. And I'm thinking, how does a kid even get that? And recently in Chicago, there have been a couple, or at least 2 gun shop owners who've been tied to selling guns, illegal guns out here, and they've been closed. But that's just my thing, how these kids influenced by this and think this is cool. And this one kid paid the price, had no friends around him or anything, and got caught by his so-called ops and got the mess beat out of him, embarrassed, and since deleted his social media and everything. I want to get y'all thoughts on this. You muted, Jeremy.
I said I'll start, but can you guys hear me clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So for starters, man, like it's obvious our youth are misguided, and it's unfortunate. Like some are forced into a lifestyle, like either no parents, no community, no one to put a stop to them, right? But I just wish like other parts of the world, I think like even second world countries, right? For one, the guys are like self-incriminating themselves. He on Facebook and Instagram showing these weapons. Like that's very, very dumb, right? But I think Illinois America has the funds and the power to like bring a stop to this. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be some type of program like that, for one, that either go snatch them up and put them in a program that like hold parents, you know what I'm saying, like reliable. Because if you hold parents to the fire for these actions, man, like they on camera, bro, with these guns. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, it got to be some pushback. And I'm not gonna bring up the country I'm thinking about, but in some countries, man, like kids like that, they actually go get them and put them in like programs, you know what I'm saying? Like mental programs, you know what I'm saying? Like schooling, like give them things to do and give them like outlets.
Mm.
Because I'm pretty sure it's not most cases, but imagine you 13-year-old boy and you have no siblings and you on this street or block that he at, right? And he had to walk to school every day. Every day he walks to school by himself, right? How do he defend himself against people who are already involved in the lifestyle? Either you get with it or you get down. You know what I'm saying? So or get put down. So at sometimes some point it's a choice where you have to join to for your own safety. You know what I'm saying? And that can like be a negative effect. But I think America has the power and funds to stop this madness, this nonsense, right? Because it just I can't fathom it, bro. It's just ridiculous. So that's my take on it.
So I agree with you. They do have the funds to create these programs to keep them away from violence, but it's like they feel like why should they? Let's let them destroy themselves. Again, it's something that keeps us separated instead of us uniting together. As long as we stay divided, they're gonna have the upper hand. So no, there's no value in trying to steer them away from the life of crime. They say that the prison system, prison housing is a business. You know, they're the breeders of the future prisoners themselves. They breed and then they go in and they rate. Kids come up from that and they want to follow in their footsteps. It's
Yeah,
like I don't know. It multiplies. So it's like it's doing everything. They just sit back with no legality. They don't have no worries because they don't have to do nothing. They just sit back and let them do their thing, and this is where it gets them. They're
I
in
agree.
jail.
I agree with both of y'all, but it's to me it's so crazy that kids are now thinking that it's cooler to have a switch than a 6 figure salary or be an entrepreneur or do something more productive. It's like I tote guns, I make money on the street. I think that's, and I remember too because I did a career day with uh, my kids, their school, and I got asked the question, "Do I make switches?" Because I'm an engineer, and I'm like,
Oh wow.
I'm just, I'm thinking in my mind, where's our youth at? Because these are people that are gonna grow up one day, take care of some kids, take care of some grandparents, and spread this nonsense along. And when do it stop? Like it's just never gonna stop because we only make up 14% of the population, and if we killing ourselves, eventually we gonna be 1% of the damn population. It's like that's the thing that I think about. So I'm like, damn, and I don't. Hopefully, I ain't sounding emotional by saying this, but
Well,
but
you
it's
are the
just
passionate one.
it's just it's crazy. And when I saw that video, I was kind of like, damn, man, they think this shit funny. They think this shit cool. Like this shit ain't you and you saw from that last video I shared what happens. All you in a game, but 9 times out of 10 you by yourself. So what happens then? Like you toting all these guns and stuff. You you better be about that life because it's not a game. Like it's not a game. Ain't no more no fairy tales for you. It gets real just like it got real for that individual.
yeah,
And I think that's very sad. The kids out here think this stuff is cool. To shoot up a school, to shoot at each other, to hurt each other. Like we should be uplifting each other. Let's take it back to the 1950s and 60s where we had unity. Like
you
if
know,
that's what
there's no concept of consequences for them. They don't think about what their actions can do, and there's only two paths: death or in jail. And they just want to. I've never seen a gangbanger retire. I've never seen him. Oh, I'm hanging up the hat. I'm done. Unfortunately, I I know some guys in their 50s still talking that gangbang mess like it's really real. And what's really sad about it is, they pay bills. They know what it's like, and yet they still got that gang banging mentality. Like it's really like it really did something.
Yeah. It's also funny. I wish I can be like what do you call it? Have a globe to see the future, and I wish I knew that guy who got assaulted just now in that video, because normally after this, two things happen: either he crashed out or he turned good. You know what I'm saying? But we will never know what happens to him. And it's so many times like kids don't get held accountable. I agree with Elroy. They don't get held accountable, so they can't come back from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, he was spared. Most times they don't go that way. Most times it's murder. So the fact that he was spared, I would love to see what happens with him in his lifestyle.
I hate to
Be-
wish the worst, but for me, I feel like there was retaliation in the back of his mind. Rare percent of, you know what, this ain't me. He ego's involved. His ego got bruised. However they beat that man down, they laughing and joking about it, and he was there, so he know it went down too. So it's like
yeah,
in his mind, I gotta come better, I gotta come harder, and what else there to do but pull out the pistols and start shooting? And I bet you 9 times out of 10, the targets don't get hit. It's the innocent bystanders that get hit.
yeah,
Yeah. To our, to our audience listening out there, I hope y'all understand that all Chicago youth is not like this. You know, but there is a good majority out here like this, and this is what we get painted with as black individuals. That's why we have cases like Trayvon Martin out here. Just because he wearing a hoodie and in a nice neighborhood, he got to deal with mess. People get labeled to us, but all of us are not like that. And I really think it's everybody's like, oh, I heard one person say to me that racism never died because black people are still pushing it. And I'm like, you really think we drive racism? No. But we're not the majority to ever drive something like that. It was done to us. Laws have been put in place to just say we even human. And I want everybody to understand that. Like, we don't drive something like that. It's done to us multiple occasions throughout the year. We buy nice stuff. Brandon Marshall, NFL wide receiver, can speak to this when he bought a nice house and just moving in on the first day. He got profiled. Why are you here? When you spent millions of dollars to be in your house. Other occasions, the home developer, and I won't say these people's name, but the home developer who developed this house and built this house in a nice neighborhood got profiled coming home. So this stuff happens. So we don't drive racism. The other people drive racism, and this is type of stuff that they use to feed into they bigotry. So I want people to understand we all not like that. We trying to guide our youth and get our youth away from this. We may be have a losing fight. I don't have a crystal ball or anything to see into the future, but we gonna keep fighting the fight for our culture to make our culture right.
So, Brandon, I just want to add one more thing, like a silver lining in the gun violence. I looked up the stat line in Illinois, and this year we're down on an average 20% for the first quarter in homicides or gun violence. So even though we got a long way to go, like it's progress, and
Mm.
it showed progress since 2021. That trend is going down. So I'm not sure what's going on, but you can I can at least say I'm happy to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because the reason why I look to see, because recently someone was talking about they mentioned Chicago, right? And the first thing they said, oh man, Chicago, man, you live in Chicago, bro, it's horrible, it's bad, it's violent. And they try to say, well, I'm moving to Atlanta because Chicago violence is bad. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Atlanta violence per capita is worse than Chicago. So that statement is flawed. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Is other reasons to move to Atlanta. The weather, you know what I'm saying? The property value is down. I mean, property prices down. So I get that, but you can't continue to lie on Chicago and say one city is better because of crime if you're not. You know what I'm saying? So
Do you
yeah,
do you think the media plays into that?
of course, of course, of course.
I think they do it purposely though.
Yeah,
They do it purposely though, and I think that's something that need to stop too. Like they'll put these crimes up and say, oh, look at this, look at this, look what they did, this kid
yeah,
and that individual. Like they'll put that stuff up too, and that's the stuff that need to stop too, because you only further driving it. It's never gonna end.
Well,
yeah,
and I'm not trying to justify them, but you got to look at their position. Their job in the news media is to sell you news. Their job is to scare you, and it's not always, rainbows and puppy dog tails or whatever the fuck. They like to show that real grittier side. They even do stuff like this is in your home right now and it can kill you. Details at 10. They do that. They do that. They fear sells.
I always think of it when it come to the news, like the training day scene when they was in the diner, and he's telling them about the newspaper. It's 90% bullshit. that's that's what I think about when it comes to that.
yeah.
I know, no offense to the people in the news or media, but it's 90% bullshit. There's a lot of false truth, no lies or lies being told. So that's why I just say. But I think we'll move on to some little lighter. Well, not really lighter, but
Yeah. Here's
Zelensky.
the next episode of It Happened in the White House, starring the Trumps. I told you he's going to be a big part of our stories because he the stuff that he's coming up with is just real crazy. And so what you were about to go into last week, President Zelensky of the Ukraine was at the White House, and I mean it just seemed like it just escalated from like go. Basically, he Zelensky's going around trying to get support to be aided in his fight, currently that is going on with Russia. So the previous administration was just giving armaments away, $1 million, $1 billion. I think they sent them over $1 trillion in military aid. So now you get a gentleman like Trump in the White House. He's like, why am I going to do this for nothing? And so Trump has agreed to support Ukraine and provide them, but in exchange, he wants access to minerals and fine goods that Ukraine is famous for and plentiful for. And give me a second, I'm going to kind of run down those things, but I want to kind of hit the point. Is just like I can really see his point in this. Why am I just giving away? We're going. It was free for you, but it cost us to manufacture and build. Why can't we get a little something in return? And far be it, you're not going to hear me always agreeing with Trump and what he does, but at this moment, I kind of agree with him. And let me kind of go down some of the commodities that Ukraine has. They're one of the top five leading countries with a supply of graphite. Graphite is used in batteries and for electrical vehicles. That's a growing thing. Electric vehicles. You need the resources to build them. Not only that, Ukraine has 7% of the world's supply of titanium. A lightweight metal construction used from everything from cell phones. Titanium goes in your cell phones, in the Apple phone, to aerospace and power stations. They also have a large supply of lithium deposits, which is what goes into the batteries. You know, there's other resources like uranium, well, which is built for building nuclear weapons and reactors and stuff. But yeah, they also got copper, lead, zinc, lead, nickel, all these materials that we use daily. And I honestly don't see nothing wrong in Trump saying, hey, you want me to arm you, provide me with some of your resources. You know, if you don't have these armaments, you're not going to have a country to fight for you. It's going to get taken away from you. Russia already occupies 22% of the Ukraine. So that number can grow at any moment when he just further advance. This could turn into one of them like 5 year, 6 year wars, but you will see Russia further progress because they're going to get backings from North Korea. If it benefits North Korea, they're going to get involved and they're going to back Russia, and it's going to be a losing battle for the Ukraine. So I would say, accept the aid. It's not just us; they're getting aid from Europe, from the Europeans as well, from United Kingdom. But here we are, we're labeled the superpower, so to say, and all we asking for in return is is some of your raw materials. I think that's a fair trade. What do you guys think?
Well, if I would agree with you if the U.S. didn't promise something that they didn't keep. They didn't keep their promise at all. Ukraine gave up their nuclear defense system because the U.S. promised to protect them. That's the thing that everybody's kind of like missing. And if it's really about peace, which they keep pushing peace, they keep pushing peace, then why do you want 50% of their resources? Because it ain't, to me, if peace is your main objective on both sides, you don't give a damn about the resource. When somebody says, I want something in return, to me, especially a country like the United States, it's about power. To further increase power. That's what it's looking like to me. Forget the reality TV show that they put on in the White House. There's a great SNL skit about it too, which I think that's 100% true because they kept saying the word trap, which it definitely looked like it was. But I'm saying this is more to me is about a power grab, and they know with those resources they can control something, and that's what this is to me. It don't have nothing to do about peace. All that that's bullshit. That's just my opinion of looking at it. From all the news clips, the words out of Trump's mouth and Elon's mouth, this is looking like they just want power. Forget that. Now you can, and he even said it in the video. Don't come back, and when he kicked them out of the White House, don't come back until you're ready to discuss peace. This is not about peace. That's lies to me. What's your thought, Jim?
So I agree with you both, but I'm not crazy enough to think like I've been knew it's never about peace. It's always about financial gain either way. And I wasn't aware of that treaty that U.S. made with Ukraine about defenses being taken down and we protect them. I wasn't aware of that, but I'm sure that happened during the Biden for 4 years, right? And I also think that was selfish, knowing that you can't guarantee peace over there. You can't tell a country to put your defense down. Now bring you in NATO, knowing the opposer saying if you go to NATO, we're fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what happened in that communication or that negotiation, but um either side, like when Biden or now, it wasn't about peace. Peace never been in the American mindset. But we're here now, and as we're here now, I understand why Trump's saying that we need something as well. If we're going to help, we need something from it because what he stated inside that meeting with Zelensky, and Zelensky agreed, the EU actually gave them a loan, so they have to pay that back. So really, they never gave much, as far as like financially. So if EU has a loan, Americans shouldn't go into debt to help them out and be the only people in NATO giving money. So if that's
Mm.
true, I can understand that aspect, right? But other than that, like that's just what I think about it.
Well, just a quick correction. That
Yeah.
promise was made in 1994, so that was even before Biden, Obama, Bush, all that. So that's what I'm saying.
Who
That
made that?
promise.
Well, it seems like this is what it's boiling down to, that promise being made by individuals are being held by individuals, and
Mm.
that people that follow them don't necessarily feel like they have to make good on somebody else's word.
That
So
was
the word is only as good as the person that told you.
well. This is a country though, and that's my thing though. There's some there's some level of integrity and honor that should be kept with that though. That's what I think. And George Bush was the president at that time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think that should still be honored in some way. Now, if you want something in return, I get that, but don't have that as like a stipulation to provide them resources. I think that's more something contractual you can do there, where it doesn't involve this looking like either you do this or we out. That's what it's looking like to me because it's like you playing poker or you bluffing to see if they gonna do something that you know you not gonna do. So or you
You know
wouldn't
that
do.
that just sounds like the humanitarian you, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's not wrong, but
Mm.
United States is not about being humanitarians. United States is about business. So
Oh yeah.
that's where the business aspect of it is. I'm doing for you not out the kindness of my heart. I'm doing for you so you can remember, who took care of you when you needed to be taken care of. It's kind of like a bully or bodyguard type situation. Like, okay,
Mm.
I saved you from that ass whooping. Now you owe me. I'll
Well,
come collect one day.
well, I'm gonna just talk about the Republican Party for a second. Republican Party was built for us. They was fighting anti-slaves and all that. To it switched over to being more conservative and having elites, what they called it at the time. But their main principles was geared around or centered around moral clarity, like morals. They were and less government involvement. That was their whole thing. So to me, I feel like now in today's time, the morals have completely been kicked out. Like now it's government involvement everywhere, and like screw, it's ran more like a business. Like we don't give a damn about you at all. You're either gonna give us this or we're not gonna do this, and that's completely forget if people dying, people forget if people sick, forget if you homeless. Either you give us this or we're not doing. Even within the country now, because we got what 4 million people homeless, and they ain't done nothing about that, and they're not gonna. It's proven to see they're not gonna do anything about
Hey, question: how do you know how many homeless is there if they don't have a home to take count?
that. I'm going off of data off a website. That's the count of 4 million people in a home.
All right. So moving on into the world of Trump,
Mm.
he started his tariffs uh, on Canada, Mexico, and China as well. And I already saw uh, Canada kind of retaliating. I saw in
Mm.
the news about them removing all American whiskey off of their shelves. We're doing it to ourselves. And so I got a slide to share. And it really made me realize what I've heard plenty of times, but now it all makes sense that United States is not manufacturing its service. And when I show you this slide of all the things that's imported, you're going to be like, wow. Can you guys see this?
Mm.
Well, we get a majority of our vegetables. We really don't have much land for manufacturing or growing of fruits and vegetables. We got Florida, which known for their oranges, and then you got California. Uh, they have some big manufacturing plants. I believe Dole has like huge, for their lettuce and corn and stuff. But the rest of the stuff we get from other countries, like over here in Mexico, avocados, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, strawberries, limes, mangoes. Look at all of that. that we're dependent on, and just as well with Canada, how we dependent on them for eggs and beef and pork and salmon, lobster, and so on and so forth. So we're really gonna, at the end of the day, we're gonna be the losers here. The consumer is going, and I think we said this before. The consumer is going to be the one that loses out because at the end of the day, we're going to have to pay the tariffs, prices, increases on the goods that's imported into us.
Well, just a recent update, Trump has delayed these tariffs for Canada and Mexico because his own advisors have told him this is going to cause major repercussions in our economy because of this. So it has been delayed. But like I said in our previous topic, it's a bluff. He's using this to get something in return, which, hey, they see it's a bluff, but they're calling your bluff. And they're going to retaliate based off your bluff.
Well, one of the things he levied for was getting policing on the borders.
Hmm.
We have our border patrol, but he was able to convince Mexico that they need to dispatch troops to work along the border too, as well. And I wonder, since they already started and it's sitting there half done, do they have plans on completing, building the wall that separates, North America and South America? So that'd be interesting to know. And Canada, I didn't realize, you know, people use that route to sneak into the states as well. When we think of sneaking into the states, we think of, the Hispanics or whatever coming from the south, but it happens in the north as well. It's like coming in under a radar of coming in from Canada because everybody's looking down at Mexico when just as well, people are sneaking in or sneaking drugs in through the Canadian borders.
Well, Canada, interesting thing too, because they have now in response to his tariffs he keeps throwing at them. They're threatening to shut off power to certain major cities or major states. So this
Right.
is this is kind of that war back and forth. And these tariffs he's done with China. China is a big part of our economy too as well. I don't know if you have a chart for that, but they're
Big part of manufacturing.
yeah,
Yes.
they're
Whereas people outsource work to China because the labor is so cheap, which in turn they can turn a profit. So yeah, China is a superpower when it comes to daily trading.
that's
Yeah.
what they're prepared, and I'm just using a power reference. They want all the smoke because they
Hey,
the
Brandon, I think that smoke started. If I'm not mistaken, Trump already passed the tariffs on China, and
yes,
China passed it back.
yep.
So you can see where he's bluffing at and where he's not. So when it comes to the I guess like the industry and like cars and manufacturing, he's not bluffing. He wants those industries back in America. And from what I'm hearing, some are negotiating and coming back. Apple bringing factories back. Some car dealers are coming back. I'm not sure, but as far as Canada and Mexico, yes, that's full bluff. And as I'm reading more, a lot of our produce is actually coming from American-owned companies that's placed in Mexico. So you don't want to tax your own companies, right? So I can see why he's just doing it like bluffing with them. But pretty soon they're gonna say, "No, what? We're gonna call it all the way. We're pushing ours. I don't care if you stop yours. This is ours, right? What you gonna do? We'll see how that goes. But I don't know.
I just think it's just like when he changed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. It's just like I gotta show you that I'm powerful, and I feel like this is like a I hate to use schoolyard terms. This is like a dick measuring contest between countries. I think, and I think he's just like mine's bigger than yours. Like that's what it's
I
coming
told
down
you
to.
everything he does for the next 4 years is just going to be a monument to his name, just like a big graffiti sign that says Trump was here. He's well, he's trying to change it for where he thinks the world should be, but at the same time he wants to put a stamp on it, put his name on it, just to say, yeah, Trump was here. He just signed an executive order. I don't know how this plays out, but he just signed an executive order that says any person convicted of killing a police officer will get the automatic death penalty.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Wow.
it crosses the line as to where here in Illinois, there's no more death penalty. But are you just going to do it just for cop killers? Then, if that's the case, you might as well bring the death penalty back, and that's a whole different other subject right there. If you guys are pro con, death penalty or not. But yeah, he's trying to make America great again in his eyes.
That's my thing though. That age, I think it's a TI question. When was America this great period? I just want to know. I just want to know what period are you trying to like replicate that we were like so great?
Well, we are known as a superpower. We do have access to things. And it's funny. It's just like the Olympics. When you watch the Olympics every year and you see every country being represented at the opening ceremony. When the United States comes through, they might be American, but they're Asian American, Italian American, African American. Our country is built on the genetic makeup of everybody else.
That's why I don't understand what period though, because we have our flaws even now. Like I'm just trying to
We're,
understand
we're,
because
we're
that's
just
just
we're just viewed as a superpower. We're big brother, and the two toughest kids on the block right now is us and China, and then with Russia pulling in a real close third. But China's self-sufficient pretty much, and they're way more advanced than we are. We really haven't put that to the test since, like, what World War whatever. You know, I don't think America wants to smoke with China.
yeah,
China is
yeah.
like one of those
No.
people is like, I don't have to flex. I know what I got.
Yeah.
And when it comes time to it, if I have to show you, I'm gonna use it. So
Yeah.
you go looking for shit, you're gonna find shit.
I'm
I
not.
did,
I'm not sure if y'all saw it, but I didn't want smoke when I seen China do like a celebration, like a fireworks celebration full of drones, and created paintings and pictures in the skies with drones. I'm like, yeah. I'm
No,
like,
that just goes
yeah.
to
We
show
don't. We
you.
don't.
I
We
mean, we
don't
do it
want.
as well, but
I
China is
never
more
seen it.
advanced than us in technology.
I I say, yeah. We don't want that problem, bro.
So actually, the Royal Rumble wrestling. I know you guys probably don't watch it. They did the same thing where they had drones take different configurations of stars, their logos or whatever. So I mean, we're capable of doing it too, but China probably built that technology that
No,
we
hey
lack.
Elroy, go and Google their like celebration. It wasn't stars and logos, bro. It was like action figures running, doing like it was crazy, bro. Go
Okay, so
watch
it
it.
was actually
Go
like moving figures. Okay,
move it, move it. Go watch it, bro. It's like
all right.
hey,
Let
yeah,
me write that down. So what's that? You said a New Year celebration?
yeah,
Eh,
drones, yeah.
hey. I think it's crazy when you see our Secretary of Defense saying we're prepared for war. No, you're not. No, no. And first of all, when they say that too, because they're not gonna go fight the war, so it's easy for them to say that. It's gonna be people's kids, people that's in the selective service. They gonna go fight that war. You're not. So like, I think we
well,
should be easy.
I don't.
most of our wars are being fought behind a desktop nowadays with drones. We got unmanned submarines out there. So, yeah, if troops get involved, yeah, they're going to be on the front line. But most of our fighting is bomb raids, long range missiles, and sending in drones as opposed to sending in people. But at some point, the people do got to throw down.
And that's the thing.
Well,
If the people, if people gotta throw down, it's gonna be if it gets bad, it's gonna be at some point the government coming snatching people up and throwing you on front line like we seen in like Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, they
they're
just
gonna come.
reinforce the draft. They just bring back the draft.
Yeah, but still though, huh? Oh, they do the drafts. I still believe, bro. It's gonna be people who pushing back. You know, oh, we ain't doing it. We go to jail. They going if they need to be. They coming and grabbing. They snatching you up and taking you like without a choice.
So no, everybody at 18 has to register with the Selective Service. We don't have actual draft, but it's in case one of those things happen, you're registered. They know who you are. And I don't
Yeah.
even, I don't think I should even ask you guys on live camera if you're registered or not. If you register with the Selective Service.
I am not, and we are out of the age range, fella. So it don't even matter.
Yeah.
It's 18 to
Either that,
24.
after that, there's certain things that would prevent people from being drafted. One is being last of the bloodline. So
Elroy, what I'm
yes,
saying is like, do we actually believe that? At this day and age, when you see like people building bunkers in America, you think like they gonna give up and say, okay, we raise the flag? No, they gonna continue sending mugs out until it's over with. So at some point they gonna come snatch you. They don't care. It's gonna now it's okay the last son. Then they gonna scratch it out. You know what? Everybody, including your son. 5 years old, he out there too. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it, bro. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. Yeah. No way. It's a fight. It's a war. You know what I'm saying? What they say, all spare and love and war. Come on, man.
and not to mention that China outmans us number wise. So for
Mhm.
probably like every four of us is one of them. You know? No, I mean I'm sorry. Switch that around. For every one of us,
Yeah.
there's four of them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's get back to the range.
Get your aim right.
Right. So moving on to the world of the White House. This guy never disappoints. Elon Musk. He's trying to get in Trump's ear to pardon the gentleman that killed George Floyd.
Mm.
And I guess in a sense, pardon all the other. If they're gonna free him, they're gonna pardon all the cops that were considered accomplices that didn't stop it as well. They'll probably and end up getting pardoned as well. Total abuse of power, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I can see white collar crimes and you being pardoned. I mean, a crime is a crime at the end of the day. But to forgive somebody that took somebody's life, you know, hey, you know what, we're gonna let you go. Just don't do that again. Promise me you won't do that again. That type of mentality. I don't think murderers should be pardoned.
I think just to even suggest this, and then Shapiro. Hopefully, I'm saying his name correctly. He's a
Shapiro. Yeah.
lawyer. He's a lawyer. He tweeted this saying he should pardon their George Floyd's accusers or murderers. He should pardon them. And then Elon retweeted this and basically agreeing with him. And my thing is, you don't know in George Floyd, they always say he died from fentanyl overdose. That's what they're saying. That's why they say this. But you don't know in those last moments what he went through. If a man's, you got your knee on his back and everything, whether his back, his neck, whatever, he's telling you he can't breathe. There should be some level of a human response. Instead, in that moment, they're trying to dehumanize him, and that's what this looks like to me. That's why I say Elon Musk lacks empathy and being able to understand sensitivity to certain situations. And I think this guy Ben Shapiro, whatever the hell his name is, he lacks that as well. Like you're educated enough, that's cool, but you also understand what's wrong and what's right. You know, you know what you do is wrong. That's why fucking KK members hide their fucking face, proud proud to share their message, but they ain't proud enough to show their face because they know what they're saying is fucking wrong. Like we all have a moral compass. and I think some people listen to it and some people don't. And that's the shit that like it kind of irks me a little bit because I'm like, it's totally insensitive just to even say this shit that, oh, we gonna pardon them, the murderers, for this. It's totally insensitive to me. But I'll let Roy go before I get on my passionate
No,
swing.
you know, speak it, my brother. Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, I just think for it to even suggest that just shows like, hey, I'm gonna show you what my power is. Fuck who it offends. Like I'm gonna just do what I want to do, and you ain't got no say so in the fact. And it's forget if it's you know someone who kills someone in it who unjustly kills someone. I'm gonna just put you on the street because I can do that, and that's I don't know. It's just totally insensitive to me.
So, Brandon, I have a question to ask you because I went down a rabbit hole trying to find like Elon Musk. I couldn't find it for some reason. It just didn't pop up. But I did see Ben Shapiro. So I'm trying to think, is there something I don't know what he said to like justify his comments? Like what did he say to try to make himself seem right about
Who
releasing
Ben or
Ben Shapiro? What did he say that Elon Musk agree with?
because he's saying that the Elon Musk or I'm sorry George Floyd's killer, the cop killer or the cop that was accused of convicted of his murder was basically didn't kill George Floyd. He's saying he died of a drug overdose. He's saying there was no damage to George Floyd's neck at all from his knee being on his neck, according to the autopsy, which is false, by the way. But there was showed signs on his neck, and he died of suffocation. That's from the official autopsy report. But that's the thing. He's using that to say they falsely convicted this man or those officers of this murder, and he died from fentanyl overdose and heart
Yeah,
disease, which is not true. It's not
yeah.
true.
Even so, man. I hear you and I agree with you. I think also is racially I don't know push because if you look at Ben Shapiro, like he never speak on the behalf of black people at all anyway. You know what I'm saying? So why choose this point? You know what I'm saying? Like you never really if you never speak on the positive behalf of black people and then you choose like this far left like comment, it makes people even if you're not, it makes people believe that you are racist. You know what I'm saying? And seeing that Elon Musk even retweeted it, it's not for me. It's not like anything new to see from him because knowing where he come from, and South Africa is highly racial. You know what I mean? So it's just man, it makes me sick, but that's where we at today, man. But yeah, I hate it.
Did did you? I just want a quick side note.
Mm.
South Africa has declined the Starlink, which is Elon Musk's project in their area, their region, and he's claiming it's because they're anti-white. He's claiming that he's saying they have anti-white laws in South Africa. That's what he's claiming. And anybody who want to fact check me, go check his tweets. You know, that's what he's claiming. They have anti-white laws in South Africa, which is not true. That's not true at
At
all.
all, at all, is not true.
But but saying that stuff and people who think like that, who think they know something, and I want to say other words, but I'm not gonna go there. But they agree with him, and I just can't believe that we have possibly millions of people like this that think like
That
this
believes it,
and think that and believes it.
bro.
And I
uh, No, I was just gonna
go,
say
go,
is no, I was gonna say it's funny that you said it because I know in America, everybody hear about poverty line, right? In America, it's like it's a common term. In South Africa, bro, there's literally a poverty line. You get a plane and see where the poverty starts. You know what I'm saying? And anything south of that, which mostly is occupied by Caucasian or whatever they claim, you can see when the environment, the houses are a lot better. Like there's literally a poverty line, bro. and it's just weird to even hear him say that. You know what I mean? Like it's just ridiculous.
It's kind of crazy for someone. First of all, let me just say this off. Black people have been fighting for hundreds of years, literally hundreds of years, to get just equal rights and to be treated fairly, and we still fighting to this day. So to hear people say, "Oh, now there's a country out here where it's like anti-white," well, y'all, y'all had everything else already. And I'm like, first of all, it's not true. But you're using that to say, oh, because they don't want to accept my project or fund my project. They're anti-white laws banning me from doing business there. That's crazy to me. And it's like a play on the racism here. Like it's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna spread it to something else. It's like, oh, I'm the victim. That's what it's looking like to me. And it's I don't know. It's just further insensitivity to me, man. That's just like
Yeah.
I can't be man. I I couldn't be a supporter or a person that saw that and be like, yeah, he right. But if you go like, but people out here are gonna say, oh yeah, he right. Look what they're doing. It's corruption. It's corruption. Anti-white laws, racist, craziness.
Hey,
I want to
so
know one thing. One thing. I want to know. So I guess next week, Brandon, you and I can touch bases, but I want to know what these laws that he's talking about. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
I really want to know. But yeah, go ahead.
But that's the thing. When he says these
Yeah.
statements, though, he gives no specifics. It's these general statements, and people run with it. Just like when he says he's saving money by canceling all these contracts out here. If you go on US government spending.gov and you see these contracts, there's nothing canceled. There's obligations still in play. And then there's where's the savings coming from. These are like made up stuff that is going on. And you just spreading it out there and people are eating it up. They're eating it up. And they just running with it. And I just don't understand. We have literally educated people out here that are smart. And they should be doing their own research and doing this. But they just running with it. And it's like craziness to me. It's like you just putting a wool over my eyes and telling me Holly Berry is kissing me, but it's really
Elroy.
Leslie Jones. I'm just, I'm just, I'm sorry.
hey, what do you got again? What do you got? What did Leslie Jones do to you?
I'm just, I'm
Oh
just saying.
boy.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm joking. I'm
so
joking.
so moving on into the world of music, it's nothing great. It's actually kind of somber. We actually lost two stars in the world of music today. One being just as early as this afternoon, Dwayne Wiggins, one third of Tony,
Yeah.
succumbed to. He was battling bladder cancer for over a year, I believe. He was 64 years old. And that's what shocks the shit out of me. I didn't know he was that old. I would have thought that, when we grew up, we was kind of, I thought we were in like sort of the same age group. But yeah, he was 64. They had great music, I mean, hits after hits. And unfortunately, opportunity did arise for me to see them in concert, but I didn't see it. So I put that on the list of regrets of people that I had a chance to see but didn't go see. And great music. I listen to them on a regular, so it's not like I'm gonna go out my way to listen to the hits. Their music is in rotation constantly with me. And another death that happened earlier this week. Soul singer, neo soul star Angie Stone died. Angie Stone had just ended a performance, or well, had just performed in Alabama and was heading actually en route to do a performance at a basketball game where she was going to sing the national anthem. Somewhere along the lines, her Sprinter van was hit by an 18 wheeler. They said flipped 3 times, and that she was the only casualty in that ride. And then I saved her for last because there's sort of some type of controversy, or you know people creating an air of doubt as to her death, and that being that she was really going after the music industry for control over her music and just overall, artist rights.
Mhm.
And she was really vocal about that. And I say the one that speaks the loudest definitely should be careful, because they become the target. All they need to do is shut that person up, and then half the battle is won. But conspiracy theory or not, she lost her life. She was 68 years old. I didn't realize she was that old either, because Neo Soul was like a early mid 90s thing, and I thought she looked kind of young, but
Wait, I thought she was 63. I thought her birthday was before March, right?
I'm sorry, I might be thinking about somebody else that just passed away recently. 63, yeah, you're right. 63,
Mm,
64. Yeah.
yeah, I knew it was one of them. But my thing is with her, she it's kind of suspicious that she finally, coming for her royalties, looking at the numbers, and all of a sudden this happens. And out of nine passengers, she's the only one to die. Like that
Well,
just it just
I won't say it's a
that seems.
conspiracy theory that she was the only one that died. I mean, when the van rolls, it rolls. She was probably the only one not wearing a seatbelt, you know. So uh those other
But think
individuals,
but
go
think
ahead.
about it. You in a Sprinter van. I'm sure she not the only one not wearing a seatbelt.
Well, we
and,
we can't
and
speculate. You
I
know what?
understand.
As she was tumbling, somebody broke in and stuck her with a syringe with cyanide and got back out as it was tumbling on the first and halfway through. Um, the fact, I mean, there's no doubt about it. She was going after the music industry, about I guess forging the books or whatever, because she wasn't getting her just due pay. And here, it comes around not even a year after she started this campaign that, yeah, she dies, and the people with her doesn't. So yeah, it does kind of throw that little cloud of mystery on there. But again, we weren't in that van to know if she was the only one not wearing her seatbelt.
I love to see that autopsy report. So, but I want to know how, what moment or what happened. Was it head injury, a neck broken, something? I want to know the cause of death. Really. Yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
I mean, you basically touch base. I just want to say, I heard everybody say it twice of her being old. 65 to me is not old, man. Like if you look at the life expectancy like in the 1940s, like that's the age 65. It's 2000, so we should be living longer than that. It's black people who actually have the lower life. I think we're like what 73 now on average.
70.
And don't
Roughly.
and thanks for correcting me. I did.
Yeah,
I
man.
was just I was just shocked to find out that she was that older woman. It's no different from that Kevin Hart interview when he was talking to Don Cheadle.
Damn.
He's like, damn. He's like, really, motherfucker. And then Kevin Hart really tried to clean it up. It's just the way it played out. I'm like, was that real or was that scripted? I mean, because Kevin Hart was giving some lame ass excuses. He was just like, no, I just said, oh, he's like, that's not the way you said it.
Yeah, but to finish up, I don't think it was foul play. I think if you guys seen, she spoke on Instagram maybe like a month ago and said that she had some like staph infection and she was like fighting illnesses. So it could be like the accident caused something to flare up. I don't know. Like, but like Brandon said, I want to see the report and see what they can find as far as the cause of death. Then we can like discuss then. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's foul play. I think it was just her time.
Nah, I'm a conspiracy theory.
That's what it
Aliens
say.
came in that. Aliens came in that. Nah. Leslie Jones. No, let me.
Man.
Let me stop.
Oh wow. So yeah, two great contributors to the music industry. Uh Not saying that they were the greatest, but I mean Tony had some jams. Angie Stone, she had a few jams. I wasn't a diehard fan. I do own some of her music in my collection. Yeah, she did have some cuts, but they gave their gift of music to us, and we appreciate them for that. I know people die every day, so I can't talk about the regular people, but I can just talk about people that is in some way or another affecting my life. I mean, like I said, Tony, like even during their heyday, that was like the soundtrack to my life. Come on now, it feels good. Yeah. That was the joint. And they, like I said, they had some slow cuts too. Anniversary. Oh man, slow wine. I mean, I could go on. So, and again, me being a great lover of music, so I pretty much got a little something of everybody in my music collection. Big on Frank Sinatra. He was a cool motherfucker back in the day. But yeah, I listened to a little bit of everything. So there's not too many people that's going to cross our paths that I can't say that I don't have any of their music in my collection.
Well, first of all, I want to know where the hell you get that dance from? You.
Feels good, yeah.
Hey,
Is that not how you did it in the club? Well, show us
nah,
show us
nah.
show us how you got jiggy with it.
Nah, first of all, I just kept. I wasn't doing nothing jiggy. Okay, I was just simple two step. Okay, simple two
No,
step.
no, Elroy. First off, you say in the club. He started outside the club, bro. Like, what
Oh
you?
yeah, oh yeah. You gotta warm up. You gotta warm up.
I'm like,
Go do your stretches. Do your
I'm like,
stretches. I'm in the line doing it. No, let me stop. Let me stop.
no, he ain't lying. He's not lying, bro. He really did. I'm looking like he turned up. Like,
Wow.
Hey, I think we should go to something that's gonna discuss the face of the NBA. But before we get to that, I want to discuss the Stephen A. Smith and LeBron interaction. I don't know if you guys are aware of this.
I saw the video. Do you know what that was
Yes,
about?
that was about Bronny James comments he made about Bronny James suffering in the NBA or struggling in the NBA. I'm sorry. Um, and basically, it's LeBron's fault. That's what he's saying because he hyped Bronny James up to be this and that, and then he's struggling, and he's got a added extra pressure being his son. And I don't know exact comments of what Stephen A. Smith said, but whatever he said pissed LeBron off enough to make him say, "Keep my son's name out your fucking mouth." So, but to me, I just think that's a bad look just on LeBron because there have been multiple people who have said far worse things about Bronny James, i.e., Gilbert Arenas. So
Yeah.
keep
So
keep that same energy. Don't just
exactly.
come. Just don't come to Stephen A. Smith who ain't gonna bust a grape. Keep that same energy to Gilbert Arenas, or that's my thing. And to do it publicly, now it's like it got to be some type of public reconciliation type thing for that to even go forward in their relationship. So it creates that dynamic that's like weird.
No, so I
Which I
agree with you. Keep that same energy. I was looking at LeBron talk to him, and LeBron was looking down to him. That's how itty bitty he was. But yeah, would he look Giannis in the eye and say the same things that he said to Stephen A. Smith? Uh, hey, yes, I think LeBron did create a lot of pressure for Bronny. Bronny didn't help neither. He opened his mouth a little times. Saying some things, and he is yet to prove himself. I just thought, the footage I saw of him playing prior to the NBA, I'm like, Yeah, he's pretty decent. I mean, not a superstar like his daddy, but that can grow in time. And it's like he's gotten to the NBA, and it's just like his shots are cold. It's just like it's a whole new level of game when you go from high school or college. When you get to the NBA, it's a whole different vibe, and you see a lot of college stars not make it so well once they get to the NBA, just because the game is so much different. But yeah, LeBron, keep that same energy. Make a list. Let me help you write that list. I done seen it. I done seen some of the tweets too. Show that same energy.
That's what I'm saying.
So I didn't actually see what Stephen A. said, but after seeing this altercation, I would love to see Stephen A. go back and double down. Like you know what I'm saying? Like just double down, cause why not? Bron already did that. But even though I'm pretty sure Stephen A. said something bad about Bronny, I don't agree with it. I think Bronny James is good where he at, and I still trust in his growth. I still think he gonna be okay. But I think it was a bad move on LeBron James to even confront Stephen A. because it makes Stephen A. words seem true or even more true,
Right.
right? Because everybody heard that phrase, what, hit dogs holler, right?
Mm.
So he shouldn't even acknowledged it, bro. Like, but it just made him look weak. And like you say, he didn't have that same energy with Rashad from the arenas. He didn't have the energy with Jalen Brown, who was caught saying things about his son. And you're gonna see him this Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why Stephen A? And Stephen A get paid on reporting. You guys never had a friendship, so it shouldn't be no words exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, well,
go ahead.
they have each other's numbers, so that can be done privately though. He didn't
Yeah,
have to
that's
do
what I'm
that publicly. That's
that's what I'm saying. Like, it was no need to shun him like that. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, I'm pretty sure he won't take it this far, but truth be told, like by law, that's considered assault. You approach them. You know what I'm saying? That demeanor. That by law is assault. You know what I'm saying? Um, or bad. No, it's assault. And if you touch him, it's battery. But the approaching in that meaning, that's assault, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't cause for a man. I wish he didn't. Wish he never did it. He didn't need
So
to.
I don't think his approach to him was violent in nature. It seemed like he just walked up calmly. He didn't.
All right, it was
From what I
aggressive.
see, from what I see, he didn't. From what the clip I seen, well, I didn't see him approach him,
No,
but I did see him face to face with him looking down.
it's aggressive, bro.
I'm not saying I'm the best lip reader, but in the video you can see him say, "Keep my fucking son name out your mouth,"
Yeah, it's
and
aggressive.
then he walk off.
Yeah.
So to me, it just it looks like, oh, I'm picking and choosing who to. If I'm defend my son, I'm gonna defend my son against everybody, not just one person. That's what it looked like to me, and that's why I didn't like it on LeBron. And I'm not a LeBron fan, basketball wise. I do think he's a great man, his father and all that. But the way he could have done that could have been done privately, first off, and he could have, addressed everybody. Or if you gonna do it publicly, address everybody. Talking about your son. Don't
Do you
don't
think?
just go ahead.
Do you think? I wonder if you think he chose Stephen A. because Stephen A. has a bigger platform, bigger voice, and he want to kill the voice at the head, or is he do? Or do you think
That
because?
that
Huh?
could play a
Yeah.
role, but I mean, you see all these people throughout your daily though.
Okay.
Whether it's Gilbert Arenas, Rashad, whoever, Charles Barkley, I don't care. You see these people throughout your daily, so you can handle these situations in a less public setting, even though they may have disrespected your son publicly. You can handle that in a private matter instead of making it look like you coming out and picking and choosing. Because now it look like you picking and choosing. You on that Birdman stuff. You went to Breakfast Club instead of addressing Rick Ross. So told him I ain't gonna say it no more. But I ain't gonna say it no more. But that's what I mean. Like it looks like you picking and choosing, but keep the same
Yeah.
energy
Right.
regardless.
I mean,
Keep that same energy.
And with that same token, just don't tell one person. You tell multiple people what his wife's vagina tastes like, what type of cereal she tastes like. Be a man about it. Be a man about it.
Hey, we ain't condoning KG behavior, man. Oh, well, basketball
A
game?
game.
Hey, they said that man voice got so high, he thought he was singing. Over a basketball game?
No, he know Melo. You know Melo will get down, bro. He might win, lose, or draw, but Melo gonna swing. You know what I'm saying? You know that.
Mellow about that life.
Yeah.
All right, on a lighter subject, who do y'all think, or why do you think no one's really taking that mantle of face of the NBA?
Because they're still riding LeBron's coattails as the face of the NBA. They probably got somebody in mind to take over the reins, but as long as they can squeeze out that last ounce of juice out of LeBron, they're gonna continue to do it.
What you think, Jeremy?
I think it's too much responsibility. I think to be a face, you have to. It's a lot to it. You know what I'm saying? Like your off court on court both have to be like superb, right? So, and I know there's debates about Anthony Edwards and about comments LeBron made towards it. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. Are you guys aware of that comment LeBron made about don't do it? When he
Well,
made
well, if I remember correctly, his comment was, "I understand why they don't do it because people who played our game and people who commentate on the sport shit on people that are facing the NBA." I believe that was his comment. Bron's comment. Am I right, or did I
no
get the
no
gist
you,
of it?
you no you're right. It's just that I didn't appreciate that coming from him, seeing that he is the face.
True.
So and seeing that like he's so invested in the NBA, even in the future, like he want to be an owner, right? So this entire business plan of NBA, it was like they need a face. So why would you say that to discourage other people taking that mantle, right? So I don't know if that was of him being genuine to the people because he know how hard it is to maintain that image, or if he used it, or if he like basically like you know how you call it when you want to hold your own kingdom, because
Uh,
if he's the last face, then his name will be number one, number two forever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm hoping it's because he's being genuine, but I didn't like the hearing that come from him. I want to hear him like encourage people to take that mantle. You know, because it also pushed the NBA further. You know what I mean?
mm.
In my opinion.
My thing with this face of the NBA though, I think the NBA needs it right now. I miss the days of D Rose saying, "Hey, I'm the best player. Can't nobody guard me." There's
Yeah.
nobody in the league with that attitude like that, and I think the NBA needs it right now because the game the game is struggling. I mean, you got Rozier being investigated for the FBI for throwing games in the NBA. That's the thing. Like no one's really like pointed out. There's stuff that's hurting the game. You got you got referees being investigated. You got players being investigated for throwing in games, tainting the game. So you need a face right now. You
Yeah.
need somebody who's gonna draw in the crowd. Somebody's gonna get attention to the league because all that bad stuff is happening right now. Ratings are down. People are saying, "I don't even watch the game. Y'all shooting too much threes." Like
Yeah.
you need a face, and that's whether it's LeBron, whether it's Tatum, whether it's Luca, whether it's Jokic, whether it's Giannis. It's got to be somebody because somebody got to step up and say something positive and create some positivity for the NBA because you got you got stuff that's tainting the game. I just
Yeah.
listed like three of them: referees being investigated, players being investigated. Like Terry Rozier is a big one right now because he could lose $50 million if he's like that's a lot of money.
Don't talk about him. He's protected. He's one of us. He's one of us.
Well, just stop throwing
Uh,
games.
so no. Do you guys think there's a future face of the NBA right now? Who do you see potentially being that face?
Well, it's gonna have to be one of these young players that come in, and is I don't think it's gonna be Tatum because he's not regarded as like the one of the best yet just yet. I think it's gonna have to be one of these young kids coming in like Wimby or Cooper Flag next this coming year. Like it's gonna be some young player that comes along and they're gonna hype him up like they did LeBron when he was 18. They built
I
him up.
I have I have no faith in NBA future. He's just a big tall guy. Unless he puts on about he needs to put on some weight. He looks like Manute Bol to me, and Manute Bol was just that. No, and I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm being dead serious. In the history of centers that look like Wimby, they didn't last long, and they didn't. Knee injury, boom, they're out. NBA career shortened. I mean, the last great centers, man, Olajuwon, Ewing, Mourning, there's no real centers like there used to be. No dominant centers.
Well, that's dominance. It's today's version of dominant centers, though. It ain't
Hmm.
the '90s version. That's the problem.
What's dominance now? 40% from the 3-point line. That's what makes them dominators.
No, no. If you look at Jokic, how he impacts the game, like he's the center of attention. They're sending double teams his way as soon as he touches the ball. That's dominance. That's like in a way it was like Shaq, even though Shaq didn't do as much as Jokic does with assisting and rebounding and passing, getting sending other people up for shots.
No, he's a big man doing big man shit.
Yeah, he was
Block
down
and
dominate,
dunk.
dominate.
Block
But
and dunk.
there's many ways to affect the basketball game. And then you think about Tim Duncan. He dominated the game for a period there. You think about KG, but they weren't real centers. They were power forwards. No, in today's game, you don't really have that. You got people like freaking. I, don't don't be mad at me, but if Karl Anthony Towns out here, and he may see this, but you got people like Karl Anthony Towns shooting 97 footers because he think he can shoot whatever instead of just being a big man and go rebound and dominate like you can. That's what hurt. That's what hurt the game really because the physicality is taken out of it. And I know I know LeBron getting blamed for a lot, but the flopping, the flopping really hurt the game
Oh
to me.
man, big time. To
Me
me, I
because it
think that
made
really, I think that scarred his legacy. LeBron's legacy in a whole was all the flopping that he was doing.
Bron
Like
didn't create flopping.
I didn't say he created it, but a person of his stature shouldn't be flopping like that.
who
I mean,
created
he
flop.
was really.
It wasn't Bron. He can't flop, bro. He don't get any calls when he flop. He tried to
Man,
adapt to it, but he don't get those calls when he tried to.
man, LeBron act like a rolling ball pin. He just as soon as somebody touch me,
and, and what happened? He don't get those calls.
man,
He get them now because he's older, but he didn't
man,
get them calls when he was in Miami.
Jalen Brown in 2019 turned his elbow and completely missed LeBron. That man act like he got shot and was on the ground. On the ground. I remember this play. 2019. That man turned around, missed him completely. That man was acting like he got shot. On the ground doing this, covering his face, hitting the ground. I'm like, come on, man. And you see on video, he didn't touch him. That's the stuff that really ruins the game to me. That's to me. Because I like I like watching as a kid from that period of 1996 to 2005 where they was roughing you up, like, or in words of Shaq, they was touching you up, like touch them up real quick. Barbecue chicken.
The
Yeah,
hack a shack.
yeah. I like that. I like that. When Brad Miller was guarding Shaq and he fouled him and turned away and just felt that whiff of Shaq's punch. That's the game right there. That's the game. And I think it's gotten away from that. It's too soft right now. You got big man that making 200 plus million that only played 40% of their career games.
So have we come to the conclusion that there currently isn't
A face of the NBA?
new face of the NBA? Correct.
Currently, no, there is not. I can't even pick one. Sad times. Sad times.
Well, how long was Michael Jordan the face of the NBA? You know, I don't think I don't think there's a time limit to it. It's just as long as you got it and that you are the face, you are the name, that you're the one that they're behind to push the brand. Hey, it is what it is. Would we be safe to say that LeBron has been the face of the NBA since coming into the NBA? I wouldn't say right off the bat.
Nah, nah. I say him being the face of the NBA started in 2008.
I disagree.
I he wasn't skipped. No, now his team may have made it to the playoffs. This may start a big debate, but for that period from 2003, even though he didn't win all the time, to 2008, Kobe was the face of the NBA.
Kobe was the best player in the NBA.
He was the face.
The reason why Kobe didn't get the praise he deserved because he had a young cat who the NBA gave the rings to. All the commercials, all the avenues, even all the money, everything was geared towards LeBron James since he first entered the league. And that's why. But Kobe was the best, clearly was the best, and he gave LeBron fits when they played matchups. But the league always pushed LeBron James, 19-year-old phenom superstar, from the jump.
If that was true, then why would they make Kobe the logo?
What logo? He wasn't a logo. He not the logo. Jerry West is.
Kobe they made a logo for Kobe for the NBA.
When they don't use it.
Where was it at?
They don't use it.
Let me show y'all. Let me show you. Look,
Kobe fans
NBA
made
history.
that.
No.
Kobe
Look,
fans made that.
I can tell you right now, I can probably Google a Shaq NBA logo. All it is his
a
shoe
Jordan logo.
Yeah. Right.
Somebody made that.
No.
Oh,
you ain't gonna be able to see that. Let me just
put it
share
in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. Let me just share it. I'm gonna just share it.
Okay.
Let's
Let me see the
go
bogus logo.
No, they made it. The NBA.
The NBA
They had it on commercials.
It was probably for a commercial to sell his shoes. Just like I can hold a spatula like this, and that'll be my logo.
Now let me share my screen so we can end this debate. That logo right there was made by the NBA.
But where was it used?
It wasn't used.
I bet you right now you could Google Shaq NBA logo.
Hey, Elroy, I don't want to bring it up because allegations, but the same reason, because I think the NBA really wants at first they wanted John Morant to take the reins. He had trouble, so that's why he never took it. Then they moved on from him to go to Zion. And Zion had issues. Then they wanted to be, for some reason the NBA wanted to be American-made face. They wanted to be that, because if they didn't, they'd be pushing Luka from the jump. They don't push him like that. He got everything. He got the country behind him. He got the skills. He got the demeanor. He got everything you need. But the NBA don't push him like that, right? They want it
Okay,
to
so
be.
I just
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. So I think they want it to be American made, right? LeBron
Okay.
James came to the NBA in what year? 2003,
2003.
right?
Yeah.
That's the same. So maybe the NBA, maybe that logo came from the years he was doing that the three-peat, 2000, 21, 22, right? So maybe they thought about that. But then what happened to, I'm not gonna mention it because it's allegations, but what happened in 2003? He had allegations. The same year LeBron came in, and they reverted from Kobe and went right to Bron
Because
because of that
that wouldn't have
allegations in
been
2023.
that wouldn't have been a good look for the
In
NBA.
2020, when Kobe passed, they had a short stint of using his logo,
He
and
passed.
they never officially changed the logo from Jerry West, but they used his logo in 2020. So that's my
For
thing.
So
They
for what for
created.
what duration? For what duration though? Was it at the
Let me
All
see.
Star game? Was it just at Lakers
so
home games only? You got to be more specific
Elroy, it
here.
was, and Elroy, you're right on point. It was like you gotta be more specific about the time period. It probably was an All Star game or around the time a year that he got
Right.
killed. But I'm not saying the NBA never chose Kobe to be it because he had everything. He had the At the time he had the championships. He had everything. In 2003 though, they chose to go a different route, and that's when LeBron James was coming. The guy they've been pushing anyway coming, and ever since then, Kobe been trying to stop that from this move, but he couldn't because
Because he could
So
never shake
LeBron
that accusation.
he couldn't shake it. LeBron was the face then on. He kept it since then. He kept
nah,
it, bro.
nah.
He kept it.
And
When you
so
hear
I
Kobe
know
Bryant's name,
I know we had this argument before, but my conclusion about the logo thing is that it should never be changed. However, I would suggest like during a season, the NBA allows each team to memorialize or patronize their all-time star franchise player as a logo for their home games only. I think that
why?
would be a nice. I think that'd be a nice little marketing thing. Just think about the T-shirts and stuff that you could sell
Mhm.
with that specific logo. Of course, Chicago would have Jordan. You know, it'll probably be Wade for Miami. Seattle, it'll probably be Kemp.
Kemp,
all
yeah.
all of them in their signature environment, the poses that they made for
Mhm.
it. I think that'd be great, but overall I don't think they should ever change the logo.
I got a question for you. Why don't you think they shouldn't change the logo? And
I mean,
I'm pointing to the two men right here. Like, so why? They deserve an answer.
first of all, fuck them. uh I just don't feel the need for change. I don't. It's a very the logo stands out. You might not know who the person is, but if I was to put different colors behind it, you'd be like, "Oh, that's the NBA logo." There's nothing wrong with it, and I don't feel the need to change things just because it needs to change. I'm like, what's wrong with what we got right now? But I am open for that, you know, uh, season specific or whatever, where teams specifically, brandish a logo of their all-star, all-time player at their stadiums. I think that'd be great.
So, Elroy, I have an answer for Brandon, and it's simple. It's the same reason why McDonald's don't change their logo. Apple don't change their logo. It's a brand.
Everybody's
You know what I'm
familiar with
saying?
it,
It's a
right?
brand. So you keep it.
And then as much as half the people would be happy that Michael Jordan becomes the new logo, there'll be another half saying, why did it need to change? It'd be,
Yeah.
why create that unnecessary division? Leave it as is.
So, Elroy, I'm doing you a favor, bro. You need to go ahead and go online and patent that idea of putting the superstars of each team onto their own perspective, like jerseys as logos. Because it may happen soon. That's a good idea, bro. Go ahead and patent that. Make some money off.
We
If you
both
don't do
gonna
it,
be
I'm gonna do
rich.
it.
But no, and like I said, they're draining the legacy out of LeBron as being a face. But to me, to a certain extent, he's already tainted his legacy. And I was just saying earlier by his alleged flopping or theatrics that he used. I don't think a player of his stature should have to go to that extreme to get calls. But other than that, he's the face of the NBA right now. Either he's very good at hiding his indiscretions or whatever, but you know there's never been any allegations of cheating. The closest they tried to bring him to trouble is saying that he was at the Diddy parties, but I would understand why he would try to shy away from that. But LeBron's all right with me. Face it, NBA. They are right now, I believe, number two in the West Coast standings. Uh, and I believe, they were five or six before the great trade, where it was suggested that they needed another big man. I still laugh at that. Be careful what you ask for.
All right, we going into the gentleman's corner?
Yes, we're going into the gentleman's quarter. Uh, I'm going to share with you guys a video, um, and it's entitled 13 Things a Man Should Own by the Age of 35. Thought that was great. So give me a moment as I cue that up.
Did he exit? What
Technical
the Mississippi?
difficulties.
Due to technical difficulties, I do not know what happened there. But here we go.
Topic I really enjoy. 13 things every man should own by the age of 35. Now, by this point in your life, it's all about leveling up, refining your wardrobe, upgrading your lifestyle, and making sure you have all the essentials every grown man needs. From style must-haves to everyday items, these are the things that separate the boys from the men. So stay tuned as we help you look sharp, feel confident, and handle life like a true gentleman. Now, if you're new here, welcome, Jeff, your style OG. On this channel, we discuss various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. If any or all those topics interest you, I invite you to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Calvin Felton, salute. Now, first up on the list of the 13 things I believe every man should own by the age of 35 is something you'll hear me beating the drum for on this channel over and over, and I always will. You need at least one quality watch.
No, here play. You gotta.
Wait a minute. Get it how you live it.
Now, by the age of 35, your style should be all about being elevated, mature, and intentional. And nothing says that more than a quality watch. Quality timepiece isn't just about telling the time. It's about making a statement. It shows attention to detail, sophistication, and confidence. And I know nowadays everybody checks their phone for the time. Check your watch for the time. It sets you apart. It shows that you care about attention to detail and sophistication. Whether you're a sleek dress watch guy, a rugged diver, or a classic chronograph, there's a timepiece to fit every man's style. And when I say quality watch, I don't mean expensive watch. Great watches can be found from $50 to $50,000. So that's why I recommend by the age of 35, you invest in at least one well-made quality timepiece. Every day you can throw on something that elevates your style and lasts a lifetime. Another very important thing you need to have by the age of 35, a solid savings and investment plan. You see, by this age, you gotta have your money right. That no doubt includes a solid savings and investment plan. The thing is, by the age of 35, being stylish is great, but true confidence also comes from financial stability. You don't want to be out here living paycheck to paycheck, stressing over emergencies, or missing out on financial opportunities because you're not prepared. A smart man saves, invests, and builds for the future. He doesn't have excessive debt. He doesn't spend recklessly. And after building up in savings, he invests in things such as real estate, stocks. The goal here is instead of working for your money works for you. So make sure you're building wealth, staying financially disciplined, and you're setting yourself up for a future where you call the shots. That's some real grown man business. Now, next up is something I believe is essential for every grown man. You need to have a tool set. You see, by the age of 35, you need to be able to handle basic repairs. And that starts with having a solid tool set. You can't be out here calling someone every time you need something fixed around the house. To tighten a screw, hang a picture, fix a loose hinge. A well-stocked tool set, including things like screwdrivers, pliers, wrenches, hammer, and drills, enables you to take care of your space like a grown man should. Plus, in my opinion, there's nothing more satisfying than fixing things yourself with your own hands. One of the goals when it comes to being a grown man, you want to be capable and self-sufficient. You want to be able to handle anything life brings your way, and that includes around your crib. So grab yourself a tool set. That way, when it comes to small repairs around the home, you have the right tools for the job. Now, next up is something I definitely believe is mandatory, especially with this being a style channel. By the age of 35, there's no excuse to not have at least one killer suit. Now, I know nowadays a lot of guys dress more casual, but if you want to stand out as a grown man, one of the easiest ways to do that is having a well-tailored suit. Whether it's for weddings, a business meeting, or special occasions, I believe any grown man's wardrobe is incomplete without their killer suit. The great thing about a suit, it brings to mind another type of suit, a suit of armor. Just like a suit of armor, it gives you authority, confidence, and an air of strength and masculinity. But the key here, not just any suit. You want one that fits you extremely well, and you don't have to go spend thousands of dollars for a custom-made suit. Find one that fits you relatively well off the rack and take it to a tailor to have it altered and nipped and tucked in the right way. To me, a suit is what separates a man from women and children. So make sure you own at least one. That way you're always prepared, sharp, and looking the part. Now, next up is something I believe every man should own that has served me well throughout my life. You definitely need at least a few well-chosen books. You see, as you evolve, it's not just about keeping your style sharp. Your mind needs to be sharp as well. And that starts with a few well-chosen books. See, a grown man should always be evolving, learning, and expanding his perspective and knowledge base. And to me, it really doesn't matter what type of books we're talking about. Self-improvement, history, or autobiographies. They all expand your knowledge base, your confidence, and your vocabulary. And not to mention a man who's well-read, it helps improve his communication skills. It also makes you a smarter decision maker and a more interesting person to talk to. So on the Style LG channel, we just don't talk about elevating our wardrobe. We also want to keep elevating our minds. So make sure you always have a few well-chosen books, because a man who's always learning will always be winning. Now, next up is something I'm always going to remind you need, especially my American guys out there. We have a huge problem with this one. For some reason, even by the age of 35, a lot of us don't own a passport. A passport is extremely important because a man who's well-traveled has a life that's well-lived. When you travel around the world and leave your neighborhood, city, or country, it expands your mindset, exposes you to new cultures, and just changes your whole perspective. Not to mention, you'll see yourself having some unforgettable experiences. So whether it's a business trip, a vacation, or a quick getaway, having a passport means you'll always be ready for the next opportunity. This is a very important lesson I hope you take, especially my American guys. Don't restrict yourself to your hometown. Get out. Travel, see the world. It's a great way for you to explore, learn, and continue to grow. Not to mention a well-traveled man is more cultured, more knowledgeable, and more interesting. Trust me, the world is better than just your daily routine. So make sure you have yourself a passport. Now, next up on the list of the 13 things every man should own by the age of 35 is an essential grooming need. Every guy should have a signature fragrance. Having a signature cologne in your grooming arsenal is a great move because it allows you to make a statement without saying a word. You see, having a great signature scent isn't just about smelling good. It's also about leaving a lasting impression. The right cologne can boost your confidence, enhance your presence, and make you more memorable to everybody you meet. Whether we're talking about for work, dates, or just being on the go every day, the right scent leaves a lasting impression and people notice you've been there. And as we elevate to the age of 35, what you want to be looking for is one that's classic, versatile, refined, and masculine. And not to mention, very importantly, suits your personality. So take it from me, you definitely want to have a signature scent. A well-dressed man who smells great, this without a doubt is a man who stands out. Now, next up on the list of the 13 things I believe every guy should have by the age of 35, we're staying in the grooming department. A must-have, a grooming kit. To put your best face forward and be the most handsome version of yourself, a grooming kit is essential. It helps you keep yourself looking sharp, clean, and well-maintained. You see, a grown man, he takes care of himself. And that starts with having quality tools for the job. I'm talking about a razor, beard trimmer, clippers, a nail kit, and your skin care essentials. Whether we're talking about being clean shaven, rocking a beard, or just wanting to have the best skin possible, having a well-stocked grooming kit is the first step to making sure you always look and feel good. Because let's keep it real. Women notice, your employers notice, and most importantly, you notice when you're well kept. So stay fresh, stay polished, and make sure you're always taking care of your appearance. A well-groomed man commands respect wherever he goes. Now, next up on the list is something I believe we don't talk about nearly enough. It's very overlooked. I believe it's very important to have by the age of 35 a network of like-minded men. It's often said we're the sum parts of the 5 people we spend the most time around. And I agree. That's why I believe having a strong network of like-minded men around you is very important because it shapes who you are today and who you're going to become. A grown man shouldn't be out here living life alone. It's very important to have like-minded people around you who are ambitious, goal-oriented, and motivate you. You want some trustworthy men around you who are going to push you to be the best version of yourself. Whether we're talking about career goals, fitness, or finances, having like-minded men around you reminds you of your goals as you watch them achieve, fail, brush themselves off, and get right back on the horse. But on the other hand, make sure you're cutting out negative people, people who drag you down. You want fellas around that respect you and that you respect, that can check you when you're on your BS, but also can help make sure you're staying on the right path. We're getting back into our style bag for the next essential for the age 35 man. You've got to have at least one pair of quality dress shoes. You see, the thing is, just like with a house, it's very important when it comes to your style, your foundation. And of course, shoes are the foundation of any stylish guy. Now, one of the things I always encourage, that I believe you should buy a pair of the best quality shoes you can reasonably afford. Don't break the bank, but please make sure you don't cheap out when it comes to your dress shoes. Not only will the people who see you notice, cheap shoes drag your outfit down, your feet will notice. Oftentimes, they'll be very uncomfortable, and when you think you're saving money by spending a whole lot less, you're really not. Cheap dress shoes wear out very quickly. You'll have to replace them. You're much better off investing in a quality pair to begin with. And the thing about it is, it's very important for a grown man to have quality dress shoes. As you age, your style should evolve. It should be more sophisticated, more refined. And a pair of quality dress shoes will anchor any look. And you can't build a solid style by the age of 35 without the foundation of your wardrobe. Quality dress shoes. Now, next up is something I believe a lot of guys tend to ignore, especially my bachelors out there. By the age of 35, you need a cast iron skillet or some quality cookware, or both. You see, as a grown man, you want a well-equipped kitchen. And that starts with some cookware. Whether it's for a simple breakfast or a gourmet meal, it all starts with having the right kitchen tools. Whether we're talking about a cast iron skillet, because the cast iron skillet is durable, you can cook almost anything in it. It can handle just about any recipe thrown your way, from searing steaks to baking cornbread. Also, investing in high quality pots, pans, and knives definitely has your kitchen very well equipped. Not to mention, cooking for yourself and especially for others is a great way to have a memorable experience. And it shows that you're self-sufficient, creative, and capable. Without a doubt, I highly recommend every grown man have a cast iron skillet and or some quality cookware. Now, next up is another thing that's hugely overlooked by my young G's, but I find myself reminding my more refined age 35 guys as well. You need to have a comfortable mattress and bedding. Here's the thing you need to keep in mind. A quiet night's sleep is just as important as being on your grind. There's no way any of us can perform at our best if we're not getting quality nights of sleep. The thing about a comfortable mattress, not only does it promote good sleep, it improves your mental clarity, boosts your physical health, and your overall well-being. And when you pair that comfortable mattress with quality bedding, I'm talking about sheets that are soft, breathable, and ones that fit your sleeping style, you're definitely prepared for a very productive next day. So please don't cheap out on your sleep setup. Taking care of your rest is just as important as taking care of your body. Now, next up on the list of the 13 things I believe every man should own by the age of 35, we're getting into our accessory bag, literally. I believe you need a good weekend travel bag. You need a good weekend travel bag because a man who's always ready to get away is a man who's on top of his game, in my opinion. Whether it's for a business trip or a spontaneous weekend getaway, the travel bag, a weekend one, is essential. You don't want to be out here schlepping around with a cheap bag that's falling apart. That's not fly. Whether we're talking about a sleek duffel bag or a weekender bag, you're prepared to get away at a moment's notice. And it gives you the style and practicality to travel with ease. When you have that great weekend travel bag, not only does it help you stay organized, it sets the tone for traveling in style. Find something that's well made, fits your personality, and looks good while doing it. Okay, so there you have it. My list of the 13 things every man should own by the age of 35. Now do me a favor, let me know in the comment section if you believe there's some grown man essentials I left off today's list. And if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, I highly recommend you check out a recent video I did about the rules I believe every man should live by. You can check it out right here.
Some of that I agree with, but I would just say I think you should have that by the age of 32. Actually, I would lessen that. I would lessen the age because I think you kind of need that.
Why 32?
Because I'm giving you a little grace, but I really say about 30. But I'm giving you 2 years grace. But I just think
You know
all
what?
the at least for
Uh,
me, I think you by 25 you get all the bullshit out your system. That 25 to 30 range, you focus. You focus. You should be focused.
I'll say 30. I'll agree with you on 30. And one of the big points that he made out, and I've said this by experience, he mentioned the cookware. You know, if you invest in some real good cookware, first of all, it's not going to be cheap. But that cookware, if you invest in the right cookware, that could last you a lifetime. I mean, as a bachelor, you know, all my cookware was coming out of like Walmart or Target until I really invested in my cookware now, and it's just like because it's just like buying a charger from a gas station. You know, a little, let's say a cheap $5, $10 charger. You're gonna use it so many times, it's gonna break, and you'll probably go back and buy another $5, $10 charger. When just spend some money and buy a good charger. You know that the ones that's braided, the ones that's not gonna break easy. Instead of trying to be cheap, you save in the long run. So yeah, definitely have your cookware.
Roy was out here with the pots with the missing handle.
No, that's when I replaced them because they were missing the handle. I'm like, well, I just bought the same cheap ass skillet because the handle broke. Let me go invest in some real good shit. And like I say, the set that I have, it ran me about a good almost 1,500.
Damn, that's some good pots, man. Let me you borrow. Let me...
Oh hell no! You'll be lucky to get my Tupperware bowl. My pots ain't going nowhere.
Hey, we get a chance, bro. Send me a picture of these pots, man. Cause 1500.
1500.
I was thinking more so like about what, like $400 for the pots.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
damn,
saying?
that's a
Fifteen
good
hundred.
pot.
Well, no, if you bought a complete set, $400 would be the price you pay at Target.
Yeah, yeah.
You get
I
what you
ain't
pay
think
for.
Roy got them never stick pans. You ain't even gotta wash them boys.
Man, you know what? Again, it's just like treat yourself. You deserve it. And in the long run, it's gonna be better, buying a good set once than, just buying it after you need to replace it every 3 years or whatever. Yeah, invest in your cookware.
Yeah.
I
And
got the strainers and everything.
so I thought I had like 12 out of 13 on my list. Now I only got 11. I up my pot game up, bro. You know what I'm
So
saying?
no, seriously, seriously. So okay, what other ones was you missing?
The books. The
Yeah,
books.
that's the one I was missing.
Bucks.
I got maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4, but not really a solid like collection of.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
I don't know. Being 51, that by 35, I got all of those. Except I do need to update my suit game. How many suits do you own?
Okay.
You guys own?
I
I
own. Go ahead, Brandon.
I have 6 suits.
I got 5 suits. No, actually, I got 4 suits. But like with those 4 suits, I can make literally like 50 outfits.
Right,
But
because you
I
can
have,
mix match the
yeah, I
pants
can
and
mix match.
jackets.
So no, I got 5 suits. Well, I can make, I'm saying like 50 or so outfits. But I have 2 suits. I never make. I never mix. It's my actual suit. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I don't mix that one. That's like my go-to if I wanna like up it up a little bit, step it up. So how about you, Elroy? How many you got?
Only on two.
Two. Yeah.
Like I said, I want to update those. So I probably go out, because I've heard recently it was oblivious to me, but I would say within the last 2 or 3 years, I heard about you know, buy 3 suits and you can, the possibilities of, stretching those out are endless. So
Yeah.
yeah, I probably add a light colored suit to the arsenal. Yeah, I think that was some pretty good game, but yeah, I would dial it back and say you should have that stuff by 30.
Dang. All
So
right,
what
we
else we
uh
got here?
we going into our fun facts and affirmations. Who want to go first?
I am lacking any fun facts.
All right, well I'll cover for you then. I'll go first. Uh, and mine's kind of like all over the board, but I wrote down a couple that I thought were crazy. The Eiffel Tower can grow taller in the summer, and it's due to heat expansion. So it grows 6 inches taller, which ain't a lot by the way, but I'm just saying it grows taller. uh, Albert Einstein's brain was stolen in 1955. So that's crazy. That's crazy. There and this one's kind of sciencey one, but a day on Venus is longer than 243 Earth days,
Wow.
which is yeah, that's crazy there too. This
Is that based
one's
on what is that based on?
uh that's just fun facts that I'm getting off of the internet here. But this is from Science and Nature, which is just a website. Okay, I'm at the Jeremy's getting in his last little prayer here. So
Yeah.
I this is kind of a stupid one too though. A single spaghetti noodle is called a spaghettio. Spaghetto, right? Spaghetto.
Is it spaghettio?
No,
Because
spaghetto.
spaghetto. Okay.
Yeah, spaghetto.
Because they said on the can. Oh, spaghettios.
It's spaghetto. So
Hmm.
that's the singular form of that. Spaghetti is plural.
Okay.
Let's see here. What's a good one? What's another good one for you? Mm, wow, this is kind of interesting one too. Another science one. A day on Earth isn't exactly 24 hours. It's a it's actually 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds. But we but we
We
round.
have to make it even.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
So I find
But
okay. I want to argue that because time is just time. I mean, if we set a 24-hour clock, you know, countdown, it's gonna go off in 24 hours. So how can you not say that there's not really 24 hours in a day? I'm
Crazy.
not trying to
That's
be
crazy.
difficult here, but yeah,
That's
how
crazy.
can you?
Oh no, that's crazy. That's crazy. There's really no. These are just fun facts I'm stealing from the website, but there's really no evidence that they provide to show this stuff. But yeah, so but I can go into affirmations. So since I'm the only one to provide fun facts.
And it looks like you'll be the only one providing affirmations too. I am so unprepared today.
It's all good, but I just want to. I kind of tied the facts with the affirmations because I wanted to get some famous affirmations from some famous people. And one is, kind of easy one that I'm sure you heard Muhammad Ali say this multiple times. I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was, and that comes from Muhammad Ali. So that's a great one there. And this one I think is always Maya Angelou has said some amazing things. So no, this is just one of many. But I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Very powerful message there. And and then I got another one from any car enthusiasts out there, Henry Ford. Whenever you think you can or you think you can't, you're usually right. And this is another one from Nelson Mandela. I can never lose. I either win or learn. So that's another
Okay,
powerful
I like that one.
one. I like this one.
A loss isn't definitely a loss. A loss is a learning experience.
This is another one from Abraham Lincoln. The best way to predict your future is to create it. And this is let me see what's a good one here. C.S. Lewis. This one is hardships often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary destinies. So that's amazing there too. Franklin D. Roosevelt was this one. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor.
Okay.
And then this is my last one here from Confucius. Our greatest story is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. So Jeremy, I know you missed out on the beginning, but I was saying I tied the facts to our affirmations, and I just want to get some famous affirmations from some historical and famous people. So those are my affirmations for this week.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm lacking this week. I don't have an affirmation, and I just don't want to. I don't. If I share one, it's because I'm living it or I'm preaching it. Right now, I'm
Hey.
just this moment drawing a blank. So I didn't want to tell you nothing. I mean, it'd be some bullshit like "Don't eat yellow snow" or
Hey, I got one for my two co-hosts here. Uh, that Leslie Jones joke made y'all lose y'all focus. So tighten up. Tighten up.
and somebody has issues with Leslie Jones, but it eventually all come out in therapy, right?
or not.
Mm.
Might come out at a house. No, never mind. Never
Yeah, like we're so all over the place tonight. So off the cuff, I totally forgot at the beginning of the show that once again this podcast is always overseen by my man Roy Tiger Brown. Forever rest in peace. I will feel bad the day that I forget we do a recording and I don't say that. And it's not just a cliche thing. He was actually a supporter when we started out. So it's just my way of keeping his memory alive. Shout out my man Roy Tiger Brown. But I didn't even announce the number of this episode. This is episode number 39. Yeah, we're really off the cuff today. It's not our regular recording day, so we gonna blame it on, routine. But yeah, this is episode 39. We'll be coming up on the Big 40 next time. You check us out. Um, by the time you see this, you will probably been flushed with a whole lot of content. We haven't
Oh yeah.
published we haven't published a lot in the last few weeks, so we're gonna hit you hard. We're gonna hit you fast. I think we got like 3 episodes to share with the public. Uh,
And a
it's
lot of
coming at you.
content. A lot. But definitely like, comment, and subscribe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this 39, 39th episode, I should say. So I hope you guys enjoy. Definitely be entertained, inspired, and informed. And
Hey,
look,
fellas, honestly, man, honestly, bro, it's like here in 39, it's like we came a long way, bro, and it's like still growing, right? So, that's a good sight to think about, you know. So
Yeah.
big ups.
Uh,
Yeah.
from the size of a mustard seed. We just had an idea, and as we go, we improve. We add more content to it. So yeah, it is something that to it's like a milestone. Next week could be number 40. So hey,
Mm.
Leslie Jones out there, we love you. I just want to say, we love
since we shouting people out, Brittany Griner, what's up?
you. Like,
Next
comment, and
week on the
subscribe.
show.
Like, comment, and subscribe, people. Thank you.
Easy.